Good afternoon, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to do an episode review on Nanana's collection, episode 7. Now, before I get into this episode, let's talk about last week's episode before then. Last week's episode, it was a hot spring thing in the ruins, and having some troubles here and there and so forth. But by the time as the episode progresses, we find out that the treasure here was all nothing but a cat doll. Then it went all missing. Then Tensai ends up saying oh, I'm gonna have to figure this out, blah blah blah. Someone of 1,000 faces or something runs away, and then Jugo ends up coming back to his apartment and has a little problem with Nanana. She's ticked off and so forth. Well, there's no way to answer all that, but find a way how to find forgiveness. Later, let's get to the review now. Alright, at the beginning, we end up seeing a delivery coming in, and therefore Jugo ends up getting it and tells Nana, please accept this as my forgiveness. I'm begging you right now. Nanana seems very reluctant, It's like, fine, I'll forgive you, You evil punk or something, blah, blah, blah. And things gotten hectic right there. Then Jugo shows Nanana's treasure, and I did not know what it can do, And we found out that Jugo ends up saying that he actually planned all this, managed to get the treasure and replace it with something else. I watched a review last time of someone's theory about this, and I go like, oh wow, like this guy had it down or something, made a theory about something about a fake and then managed to grab the treasure, and I go like, oh wow, I can't believe this guy was right, this guy was an inspiration to me to be a little critical on my reviews, but yeah. Later, Jugo ends up having a visit from Tensai and the maid, except it's the boy maid, but yeah. Later, they end up having dinner, talking about stuff, and Tensai says to Jugo, you're pretty impressive with what you did right there, And later we end up seeing that Jugo's looking at the treasure he's holding and thinking about something, And Nanana tells him, what's the problem? Tell me about it. Maybe I can help you out, And he tells her his problem about something and ends up tearing up a bit. But Nanana tells him, how about you do this basic thing? Try to solve it out and do something. Then you could get all depressed and tear up about it, And Jugo says, hey, if this thing doesn't work out, can I cry on your chest? And she says, of course you can. He says, oh, well, I will be 100% sure I won't do it. She says, I'll keep your word to that. He says, well, I'll make a correction, but I don't know. And she says, this is a one-time service. And he says, thank you for helping me out. And she said, later, good luck. And we end up seeing that he sees Yuki Hime or something. And they end up fighting. He says, if you beat me, I'll give you the treasure. But if I hit you once or hit you really hard, you bow down and apologize to me, And they end up fighting, and he had disadvantage, and he ends up getting his ass whooped hella hard, ESI and so forth. And he ends up using Nanana's treasure to bind her to the ground, And they end up talking about something, and Yukihima said something about what are you talking about? What's your freaking deal? Ends up tearing up, crying, and later on do whatever the hell you want. And Jugo tells her whatever you do, blah blah blah. Stop thinking about this until you make these decisions, And later he says it's not like you had a boyfriend or something, and to punch him to the gut or something. And later I think they end up having a heated argument or something, and then Yukihima says, I thought you hated helping people. He says, of course I do. I still do. But I don't know. This one's different, I believe. I don't know. But yeah, and by that time, she did lie about having a boyfriend. And in the end, Jugo decides to give her the treasure, saying, for deceiving you and stuff, I might as well just give this to you. And, of course, someone was watching from the Matsuri clan or something. And she ends up telling him, you better make a correction post, And later, after Jugo and then Yukihima took separate ways, she ends up thinking about in the past, let's do this together and help other people so they can all be happy. And they make a promise. It was a pinky one too. Like, I just go, like, the moment I saw that scene, I go, oh, that's pretty cute right there, you know? Like, I can't really deny that scene. It's really cute right there. And later, we go back to the room, and Tensai got in and says, you didn't think I have one spare key, right? And he ends up being bandaged up, and Jugo's thinking in his mind, if I find out Nanana's collection and then find the killer, she would disappear, right? You know? And I was just thinking in my mind, it seems really difficult to think about it like this, you know? Like, sometimes you go like this person seems annoying, but in the end, it's like, even though you help them find the killer, find the treasure, you know, or do whatever promise you are given, it sounds like you don't want them to go, you know? I'm pretty sure we all been through that, and honestly, like, the way I just looked on Jugo's face, and that's a theory I'm thinking, or just a hypothesis, you know? Maybe he doesn't want her to go, maybe he does he loves having her around, you know, and so forth. In this episode, it's about, like, reconciliation, you know, like, make up, talk about it, you know, like, enough, like, arguments. Let's just sell this and talk about our problems, you know. That's the kind of episode it is. And honestly, like, I love this episode very much, you know. I mean, I'll give it 4.5 out of 5, you know. Made up, set things aside, and yeah, we'll see each other again and put it aside like that. I'm pretty sure, like, we all want to go through that, but it's not as easy as it looks, you know. And of course, like, I'm looking forward to more, you know. Loving this series very much. I'm glad I managed to get into it in time, you know. There are other series that I could have got into too, but let's not talk about that. And yeah, I think this series is pretty much one of my favorites for a bit, maybe. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but yeah. Hope to see you guys again. I'm Alpha Zero Forum. Another video will be posted for tomorrow, and I'll be sure to get it on as quickly as possible. I just had other things to take care of today. That's why it came a little late today, and I apologize for that. Hope you all have a great day, and later, cutting out.